because I talk a lot.
That's fine. We're good. So it's great to meet you. And before we dive into your life and your work, I want to
Mhm.
begin with COVID. We went through quite a thing the last 3 years. How did you survive it? And how has it changed you now that we're kind of in this post-pandemic world?
So wow, yeah, COVID really took a spin in my life, because we were so isolated that it actually helped me grow. It helped me dive deep into who I am and grow mentally and emotionally. That I don't need outside people to be happy. So it was a big growth spurt for me. And I really dove deep into all the hurting little Marys that are inside of me. Because we're always looking for satisfaction from the outside world.
Mhm.
And once we learn how to look inside for satisfaction within us, that's a huge transformation. And I think we're seeing that, Joe, more and more with people. So I think the COVID pandemic was an absolutely necessary thing for humanity to move forward.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mental health is more important than ever before, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it made people reconnect with their relationships or learn that, you know what, I'm in a shitty relationship and I need to move on.
Yeah.
So I think it was a great way to see where you are in life and where you've been giving your power away, where you've been giving your energy away to the people in your just in your immediate family, right?
Yeah.
Who took control during that pandemic? Who was in charge of going out and getting everything, right? Who was nurturing those other people? And it's like, wait a minute, we're out of balance here.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get to the essence and core of what you do for a living. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders at a career day. One of the
Mhm.
kids looks up and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
I love that. Um, first, I would tell them because I'm talking to a third grader, and most of the time I tell adults this too. I would call myself a lifter upper. I'm a like a person that can come in and read the whole entire room and go, "Oh my gosh, these are some sad people." So I come in and I show them, "Hey, we can be happy. Look, happy. Why do we have to be freaking miserable?" I wouldn't say that word to a third grader, but
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Right. Ah,
Yeah. So I basically what I do is I come in and I go, "Hey, we don't need to live our lives like this, miserable, down in the dumps, right? Because we're always so fearful to move forward in our life. Things always stop us. We have these desires and wants and needs, but we're always like, "Oh my gosh, I'm too scared to jump off that cliff. I'm too scared to move forward in my life." So I help people take off that fear that's holding them back. And where does fear usually hold you back? It holds you back in your throat and it holds you back around your waist, around your hips. So I teach people to move forward. Let's break these patterns. Let's break this cycle that you keep repeating because you're so scared to death because it's basically fear. Anxiety is fear. Moving forward is fear. All of that is fear, and it's just tripping us up.
so what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream to grow up and become?
My dream was to become a park ranger.
Okay. So when Dennis Miller used to be funny, he used to have a bit and he said, where does the park ranger go to get away from it all?
Nature.
Right. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
So
And that's my number one place to go.
So let me ask you this. Let's go back to where you were born and raised and how these seeds came into you to be kind of a healer and a helper for others. How did that happen?
So I grew up in a Catholic family we were 10 kids. So I was the ninth.
Wow.
So you can imagine, Joe, that there wasn't a lot of love to go around, especially for the last kid, me. Well, my brother spoiled to death, but whatever. That's the
Yeah,
last kid.
right.
But my mom and dad were really highly educated and super Catholic. So my childhood, I was the weird one in the family. I could see and sense fear, death, all sorts of creepy stuff in the house. It was over 100-year-old house. And I was like, oh my God, there's stuff I'd have. It was just crazy. I was psychic. I could see the walls bleeding. It was terrifying as a child.
Wow.
Um, and I never felt love, and I was scared to death of God. God's going to punish you. You're going to go to purgatory. I would always see myself in purgatory going, God, I'm never going to get out of this because I'm such a bad kid because of the programming of the religious beliefs that were programmed into me. So I went to all girl Catholic school, and Joe, my spirit kept raising up. I was like, damn it.
I hear those stories.
Yeah, pregnant. And I was like, oh my God. And I actually moved in with the boy that we had the baby with his parents. And that whole thing of just feeling dirty and unworthy and all of that, that all started then. Well, needless to say, I ended up marrying a man 16 years older than me. So there we go. Here comes my patterns. I gave all my energy away to him. He completely controlled me. I was a big bright light, so everybody was attracted to me, but he would put me down, just cut me down constantly. And so I dealt with that for about 20 years, but about 15 years in that marriage, my daughter that I had as a young girl said, Mom, you got to read this book on the angels. And I was like, all right. Oh my God, Joe, I picked up that book and I was like, holy cow, I don't need to live like this with fear and anxiety, giving my energy away, giving my power away to somebody else. And that's when it all started for me. It was like, nope. And left him and started a company, healing products. They were in Nordstrom all over Canada and the United States. So I was like, oh my God, I'm onto something. The angels are real and they are working through me.
Yeah.
And now, now it's like I've taken all the power retrieval healing that I've learned from the angels, and I've could done brought them all together in courses and in one-on-one sessions. So that's where I am today. So it's awesome and it's
So
powerful and it works.
yeah, so you probably don't have a real fear of death. I mean, do you really feel
Not at all.
Yeah. So
None. Zero. Not at all.
you've seen both kind of the sides of it and how it works and yeah. What
No,
would
I'm
you
not. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm not scared of death at all. I was as a child. I was 100% scared. But now I know that when you die, it's just going to be so awesome. And we're here to learn. We're here to learn that fear is an illusion and love calms everything. And see, me being a bright light, the darkness comes to me. So I have to be really careful where I go because I'll get hit so hard and I'll be like, oh my gosh, why am I feeling like I want to kill myself? Or why am I feeling this? Or why am I hearing somebody talk such dirty, bad things to me? And I'm like, that's not me. Something is coming to me. So I have to call in and clear it and get rid of it. So, love, so um fear likes to attract to love, right? And darkness likes to go to light. So we're always like canceling it out constantly. We're all doing it every day, every
Yeah.
single one of us. And some
Yeah.
of us don't even realize what the hell is going on in our lives
Yeah.
because we're so out of balance and not in tune with who we are.
Well, I'm a Libra, so I tend to kind of ride that line.
You're a Libra. What day is your birthday?
October 13th.
My daughter's is October 12th.
Wow. Yeah, you know what's
Yeah,
weird?
pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I remember watching that series Left Behind on HBO where the rapture happened, and the rapture was on the 14th, according to the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I gotta check it out.
Oh, it's wild because it's like after the rapture happened, they're like, hold on a second. That person I know is not good. And I know this person's good. So, like, the people that were really good were left behind. Some of the really bad people were sucked up into the skies and were like, so it was just this whole series about how I think it was Justin Theroux, the one that was married to Aniston, and then Steven Tyler's daughter Liv. There was a pretty good cast. It only lasted a few seasons, but I always remember I was like, wow, this is a day after my birthday. What's going to happen? You know? And last year was my 50th. So I was like, all right, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and something's going to happen. So it was wild. So let me ask you this. Who's been kind of a hero for you in your life?
The hero in my life. Jesus, that is a great question. Oh, you know who? First of all, it would be one of my sisters. I always looked up to one of my sisters. She always had her act together. I always looked up to her. And now I look up to my new husband. He Since I met him, he opened so many doors for me, and he just kept he's like, "The world is yours." And I never had that. "The
Yeah.
world is yours. Go. Go create. Go figure this out." And so I was able to step in and actually go, "Oh my God, I don't have to be scared. I have somebody actually supporting me and not stepping on me." So I would think I've never had like a hero, like a movie star or anybody like that in my
Yeah.
life ever, ever, ever. So it's weird because you always think, you go around those people, oh my God, I just love that person. I just look up to that person. I'm always like, yeah.
Yeah, right. I hear you. So let's up the ante a little bit here. If you could meet anybody alive on the planet and spend some time with them, who would you love to meet and talk to?
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton would be the absolute number one person I would love to sit down and talk to because I truly believe she's an earth angel.
Yeah. I know somebody that lives in Vegas that has an altar, a shrine set up to her.
Yeah. She's
And
amazing.
yeah, and I have another my wife has a friend that has a dog named Dolly Parton. So Dolly,
See?
yeah, see all the incarnations?
Yeah. And if you listen to her music is powerful. Her
Yeah.
music tells stories of healing. Her music is so powerful. She's touched so many people's lives through her music. And you know what I love most about her? She's who she is,
Yeah.
you know? Big boobies, big lips, big hair. She is who she is, and she's not hiding that.
But
And that's awesome.
and the one thing about her too is that everybody throughout all the years thought that she would, some nudie magazine would get a hold of enough money for her, and she's like, So she's always stuck to her laurels and morals and the way she is. Right, her compass needle's not going to waver. That's for sure.
No, and I love too, she stays private. Her
Yeah.
business is her business.
Yep.
And you see all these celebrities out there, just their business is plastered everywhere. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, we don't need that. Or they're
Yeah.
showing themselves off way too revealing. And you're
Yeah.
like, do you see what you're teaching our kids, man? That
Yeah.
it's the outside instead of the inside?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
S- So let me ask you this. Every day you wake up, like for Dolly Parton, for instance, there's motivators that make you who you are and to achieve what you want to get done. What is that for you? What gets you out of bed? What gets you through the day? What gets you to help people and achieve what you want to get done?
I love that question. The angels do. The angels do, and I just now realized that God, which I call Mother, Father God, because we're all made of feminine and masculine energy, right? So for me, I was able to accept God, thinking of it as my parent, right? Because I we have the essence of God. He created us, or it created us. So every morning I get up and I go, Mom, Dad, let's have the best day here. Bring in the energies that I need to help myself and help others. And wherever there's fear, get rid of it out of me because I can't have the fear within me today to help whoever I need to help today. Like, for instance, before we got on the call, I went out and I talked to the angels and I opened up the sacred space for you and I to talk. And I said, you know what? I need Joe's guides to come here right now and my guides to come here right now so Joe and I can have an awesome conversation. Maybe we only help one person, but bring whatever needs to come through for
Yeah.
Joe and I to help,
Yeah.
right? So every day I just get up and I always say, I'm grateful for something that I've done for me and I'm proud of myself. I'm grateful for whatever. I always say my dog's in my house and all that.
Well, it says it
And give
behind
me the
you.
strength.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
reading that behind you, and I've been thinking, that's true. There's always something because we always see most people see that glass half empty, and it's like that whole thing about making a list at the end of the day when you really think about things, there's
Mhm.
so many things that are a part. I mean, I'm always amazed that on this planet of everything that we get involved with, from driving a car, with all the mechanics and everything in our homes and everything that happens, that, all of these things somehow stay together. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So,
Yeah. It really is. And I'm telling you, being grateful and thankful lifts your vibration.
Oh yeah.
Because you know how we complain about oh God, I gotta wash the dishes or I've got to vacuum the house. Why don't you just say, thank God I have a house to vacuum?
Yeah.
Right? And thank you for this water to clean my dishes or whatever. Once you start getting into that attitude and start catching yourself, because like I'll notice when I'm washing the dishes, I'll start going, oh, complaining or whatever in my ego mind. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you catch yourself, you come back. Oh man, this water feels so good. Thank you for this glass.
Yeah.
Thank you for providing this glass, right?
Yeah.
My daughter used to always complain about silly things. And I look at her and I go, huh, can you pet your cat? Yeah, mom. Can you see your cat? Yeah. Wow, what's your cat feel like? Okay, mom, I got it. I'm like, thank you.
There you go. There you go. So, what's been one of your best client success stories that you've ever been a part of? Now, I know you can't mention names, but just one that, always brings a smile to your face.
So one of the greatest is started on doing is personalized guided meditations. And this just touches my heart so much because it was one of my best friends. She got cancer and she was devastated, just devastated. And I started working with her and started going in deep and going, okay, why did we get this cancer? So we go in and we go, why do we get this cancer? Whenever we get in a sickness or a pain or whatever, that is your body telling you, hey, pay attention, pay attention, because we can go in and fix it. We're able to heal our bodies. So she got cancer and she's had a rough life and all of that. And we started working on this. And the greatest thing ever was I put together personalized meditations for her when she was in chemo. Because if anybody's ever gone into the place where chemo is happening and you're sitting around all those people and the vibration is really low because you're scared, you're depressed. So I went in and I went, okay, and I want to, this is going to be one of my projects because I really want to start getting in there and helping people that are going through this because it's a hard time. So I did these personalized meditations for her, and you could just see her start to heal, start to heal, start to heal, getting stronger and stronger. And it's just amazing. And she called me and she said, she started crying. She goes, Mary, I would have never done this without you. And I told her, I said, but it was your will. It was your will to heal. It was your will to listen to your body and heal it. So that is like one of my greatest gifts, to just hear clients and feedback going, oh my God, you transformed me with simple. Joe, my tools are so simple. Anybody can do it because you look at other healers and they have, oh, this and that and all, and you're just like, I don't get it. Mine are so simple and they work
Yeah.
fast,
Yeah.
but it's your will, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, of all the things that you've had to overcome and accomplish in your life, what are you the proudest of?
Me accomplishing self love because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I did not have that. I was always giving my power away. I was going from one guy to another guy to another guy, and I was always had my foot out the door. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being a Capricorn, I'm always like, men were pezzes for me. It was like done, done, done. And then I went, what am I doing? What am I doing? What are you looking for? Hey, you don't have self love, chick. Get your shit together. Start filling up with self respect and self love. And I could tell you that all of us need to do that daily. You
Yeah.
know,
For
you just
sure.
start saying, yeah, I love myself. I honor myself. I respect myself. Because when you're saying I am, you're connecting to your higher self. And then
Yeah.
you're bringing in that good energy.
For sure. So if you could go back to when you were younger, maybe, you know, uh, you know, 20 years old, and you have a dream tonight, you run into that version of you, and you could give that version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained so far. What would you tell that young version of you?
Gosh. First of all, keep your skirt down. Let's wait a little bit. Um, what I would tell myself as a young girl is, you know what, you need to start looking at yourself and your patterns and your behaviors. What are you so scared of? What is setting you back? What are you just so scared of? And stop and think about that. And stop. See, my problem was I was always looking for everybody else to take care of me, to try to learn how to take care of myself. That's what I would teach my little Mary. Hey, Mare, you need to really go in and start looking at yourself and saying, I love myself. I honor myself. I respect myself, and get an education and get back into school. And you can do this. You don't need a man to, to make your dreams futures or whatever, because you're just going to get disappointed. You
Yeah.
have to be responsible for your own choices.
Yeah. So everyone out there has a perception of you, your family, your friends, your clients, colleagues, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Me, I am a huge bright light who brings love wherever I go now. I respect myself and I respect everybody around me, and whatever situation or whatever your beliefs are, I stay neutral.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing you can do, is that you can see like all the conflicts that are going on in the world right now. The best thing to do is stay neutral with them, because we're just feeding into that. So I try to just be me, full of love and self-respect myself, because then it just goes out to everybody else. I don't
Yeah.
know if I answered your
You
question.
did. No, that's great. No, no, no. I think sometimes that question seems like it can be daunting, like there should be more. Mary, if anyone wants to hire you, learn more about you, anything about your world, where do they go?
To maryarmendarez.com, or you can go to power-retrieval .net. And I have a podcast, a Power Retrieval podcast, and it's all my tips and tricks. Like today, after I'm done with you, I'm talking about free will.
Okay.
There's always healing. I do healings, I do meditations, so people can start stepping into their own authentic true self. So, and on YouTube too. See, you can
Yeah.
find me anywhere.
Eh,
Joe,
all over the place. Mary, this has been great. Thank you so much for your time, for your energy. This has been wonderful. Thank you.
thank you, Joe.
And real quick before you go, I got to tell you, I live with 3 generations of women that see things and have senses, and so I've never been that closely aligned with it. So I'm around it all the time.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
I don't see it. So I'm kind of like this neutral thing, other than they did Reiki on me at one point, and there was cats all around me. I kind of went back to like some Egyptian incarnation, and I've always had this, like, it seems like later in life there's been this affinity with cats. Like when I'm doing a Zoom, cats will come up. Cats just like have this thing, so it happens.
That is wild.
Yeah, the cats and I
Wait,
see eye to eye.
yeah, or maybe you were a cat in a past life.
Could be. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because we
or you were
definitely.
some kind of cat creature in a different universe.
Yeah,
Because you know what I was? I was, water for 400 years in a completely different realm, a completely different universe. So, the water, I was part of the water, so I was the consciousness of the water. So when the animals came, I would help them with their consciousness when they
yeah.
come and drink or swim in my water. Isn't that a
That's
trip?
cool. That's very cool.
There's some trippy stuff, man.
Fascinating. Being alive is a pretty cool trip. Yeah, for sure. So,
It is. I
well, Mary,
love it.
yeah, it's wonderful. This has been great. Thank you so much. Best of luck with everything.
Thanks, Joe. Have a
Bye,
great
Mary.
day.
You too. See
Bye.
you later. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.